So it seems like the latest update from the Elder Scrolls 6 is that the game is still a long way off, at least according to Game Director Todd Howard. This is from VGC.com, and the article reads, speaking to GQ, Howard said that the game is still a long way off, adding, I'm preaching patience, I don't want fans to feel anxious. I like to announce stuff and release it, he explained. My perfect version, and I'm not saying this is going to happen, is that it's going to be a while and then one day the game will just appear. And then when asked if he wanted to shadow drop the Elder Scrolls 6 like it did with Oblivion Remastered, he replied, you might say that was a test run and it worked out well. He also said that there are 100 people working on Fallout right now with 76 and some other things we're doing, and we know that Todd Howard stated on a number of occasions that the Elder Scrolls 6 will be Bethesda's next brand new release, followed by Fallout 5. So it's a shame that now we're going into 2026, that it seems that we're nowhere near close to having the release of the Elder Scrolls 6, and it does seem that we're getting closer to a maybe 2028 to 2030s release for the Elder Scrolls 6. We also got an update from Jez Corden a couple of months ago, where he stated on his XB2 podcast that he heard that the Elder Scrolls 6 was currently in a quite playable state. When questioned on this, he says, put it this way, when we did our predictions for the showcase that Elder Scrolls 6 was going to be there, for me it was having to do with something he heard behind the scenes as an educated guess. Later says that has no real idea how far along the game is, saying that Bethesda's sourcing is quite hard to come by. And we know that the Elder Scrolls 6 went into full development after the release of Starfield in 2023. Jez Corden also stated about 5 months ago that he started hearing rumors about Elder Scrolls 6, which makes him think that more people at Microsoft are privy to it, which in turn makes him think that there's an internal trailer going around. Also back in June 2025, in this Microsoft State of Gaming post, we got a sort of overview of what Bethesda Game Studios was up to, along with the rest of Bethesda software. And it states that Bethesda Game Studios, between their Rockville, Austin, Dallas, and Montreal offices, that they are currently working on extended content for Fallout 76, post-launch content for Starfield, Elder Scrolls Castles, and the Creation Engine 2, as well as the Elder Scrolls 6. IP Spy Team was also registered within the studio. Castles is also believed to be the project Wormwood previously leaked by Special Nick, and the Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion Remastered was released and co-developed primarily by Virtuous Games and is receiving post-launch update. Starfield was stated to be receiving yearly expansions by Todd Howard. We also know that a Starfield PS5 version is in the works, as well as the expansion 2, and Todd Howard himself claimed that Bethesda is working on many Fallout projects behind the scenes. One of course again in collaboration likely with Virtuous Studios being the Fallout 3 remaster, and there's rumors that a New Vegas remaster will come sometime in the future too. Fallout 5 is also on the way and will be the next game after Elder Scrolls 6, so it is in some sort of development behind the scenes, but of course work within the Creation Engine 2 is going to affect all Bethesda Game Studios games going forward. And of course new adjustments are being made for the Elder Scrolls 6 and will likely turn over into of course Fallout 5. So whatever work they're basically doing with the Creation Engine for the Elder Scrolls 6 will actually affect Fallout 5 because they are using the same Creation Engine, only with new updates as different games require different things. So Bethesda Game Studios is very busy behind the scenes, and I will be going through some more Elder Scrolls 6 leaks, some 4chan and other sources. They will be in another video, as I just broke down a new 4chan leak which I'll leave in the description and pinned comment section below, but I do want to put your attention to this. Now this was pointed out to me by someone in my comment section on my last Elder Scrolls 6 leaks video. It's from an official Bethesda Game Studios artist whose Pinterest pins were actually public for some time, and we saw exactly the type of art and direction that the Hammerfell game will be taking, as here is the Bethesda employee's Pinterest account which is still actively updating more pins as of a year ago, and it's interesting to see the inspiration and direction for TES 6 clearly with the Hammerfell as the setting. We can see heavy Middle Eastern inspired weaponry and clothing, as it will be a sandy region with dunes and deserts, so they have these scarves and turbans around their head because of the heat, and we can see what type of weapons we're going to be able to carry, as this is what the Elder Scrolls 6 will be inspired by. Again, these are not official shots from the Elder Scrolls 6, these are just some inspirational pins the artist is saving so that when he sketches up his ideas, it's going to be taking heavy inspiration from these types of designs and these types of influences from around the world. And it's likely we're going to be seeing a lot of rusted weaponry, these specific shapes within the Hammerfell region and cities. Not going to be seeing the type of steel swords that we saw in Skyrim. We could be getting some throwing knives and a ball and chain as our new weapon types for this game. We even have these pins of some fishes, and this may lead to having a lot more depth within the ocean with flocks of fish and having these visually pleasing moments, and perhaps a quest line takes us underwater underwater. We also know that this account was then privated, so it's no longer public, which hints that this was very much a legit leak. It's not something that Bethesda wants people to see, as this kind of gives away some of the location and the types of art direction and art style that is supposed to be a secret until Bethesda does an official reveal. We can see just how inspired by Middle Eastern culture this game is going to be, and it looks absolutely beautiful and unique. And I think it's going to be something very different that we haven't really seen in an open world RPG that's this level done like this before. Polygon also picked up on a few more details from Todd Howard from the GQ interview, where they said that Todd Howard revealed that hundreds of people are still working on quasi-MMO Fallout 76. The Elder Scrolls 6 is the everyday thing development wise. It sounds like returning to Tamriel is Bethesda's primary focus right now, and the process is currently far enough along that Bethesda did a big playtest recently. The team took the opportunity to examine what was in the game, what is still needed, and where the development process is at, Howard says. Great games are played, not made, Howard says. The screen doesn't lie. Now, this is something that they do with every single one of their games. They do big playtests, even do this thing where they have the developers put in a bunch of random different things, create different weird things for the game, whatever they want. Some things may make it into the final product. Some things may be cool enough to add it to the creation club, as that is something that they implemented with Skyrim post-launch. Howard says that I think it's also good for an audience to have a break. While he recognizes fans have been waiting for a long while already, he also noted that Bethesda is hoping to put together something that feels like more than a +1 sequel. The extended period between games might have been good for Bethesda too, or at least Howard notes that Starfield gave the RPG maker a much needed creative reset. And it's likely that the major features from Starfield of course are going to be featured within the Elder Scrolls 6. Things like shipbuilding I expect to see, but of course translated over for the Elder Scrolls 6, so maybe some more elements within city building and even shipbuilding for the seas. This is what some leaks have suggested that the game will contain. So far this is all the official leaks from Bethesda themselves, with some reliable leaks like the Pinterest being from a Bethesda employee. So if it is going to take a long while yet, it's likely that the next release is going to be Starfield PS5 of course, with the Starfield expansion, and then getting a Fallout 3 remaster, maybe even getting a Fallout New Vegas remaster for the Elder Scrolls 6 drops. I will be going over the other 4chan leaks and all the other grain of salt kind of leaks that look quite interesting, so stay tuned on the channel for that. I've already broken down the newest 4chan Elder Scrolls 6 leak, so if you want to go ahead and check that out. And guys, I wanted to announce the Witch Hunt collection, which is going to be the first collection that will be available on the Balboa Club store when it launches. This specific collection is inspired by the Witcher series and the dark fantasy genre. This is a brand that I've really wanted to make for a long time. I didn't just want to make merch, but I wanted to make something special, something that mixes the really cool designs of the wrestling world with the things that we love the most, video games. And of course, the first design had to be inspired by my favorite game of all time, The Witcher 3. So this is something special that I've created for you. I want you to join the club, and I will announce when the store is about to launch through this channel. Now we're even going to TikTok and Instagram. Thank you guys so much for watching. Peace out, God bless, and join the Balboa Club today. Bye bye.
I feel like I'm losing my mind. Is everybody in the world blind? Please, Lord, give me a sign, a sign.